Tudo bem? Beijinho, pastéis de nata. This is my Portuguese. Sorry. Okay, so this is just to break the ice. Okay, my name is Stefan. I am really, really happy to be here with you. All my friends like Claudio and Philippe will tell you that I really love Portugal. I'm really happy to be here, but I'm working for Monin. I'm working for Monin for 13 years now, so it's quite a long time. But today, we are not going to speak about Monin. We are going to speak about a new brand that we are launching, which is called PARAGON. Okay? So just before to start, I would like to invite you, all of us, not in the same times, but to come to our booth, I mean Monin and PARAGON, just to make you taste what is PARAGON, because it was a bit tricky to make a tasting here. So come to the booth, and in this case, you will be able to taste PARAGON into different cocktails, and after to taste the product neat, okay? Because it's really a product that we need to explain to you, because you have a big research behind. Okay, so now let's start. Actually, as I was saying, I'm working for Monin. Monin company has been created in 1912, so it's more than 110 years ago, okay? So that means that we have all the knowledge about making products. So it could be liquor, it could be syrups, it could be fruit puree, okay? But we decided to make a new product, something, not to say something premium because our syrup are already premium, but something to create or to recreate something new linked to the bartender, okay? So when you want to create a product in Monin, for example, the first thing that you're going to search for actually is the flavor. Which kind of flavor I'm going to work, okay? I'm going to create a new recipe. Am I going to work with carrot? Am I going to work with herbs or with fruit? Okay. So speaking about flavor, I mean, we all know the flavor which are coming from Europe, okay? From our country. We all know the flavor coming from US. We almost know all the flavor coming from Asia, but actually you have a continent on the earth which is undiscovered about flavor. Actually, it's Africa, okay? Africa, we don't know any kind of product coming from Africa. So we decided, I mean, to invest Africa. And also, in the same times, we decided to create what we call an encyclopedia, okay? What is an encyclopedia? It's a group of different books, okay? And so the first chapter that we are going to see here actually will be based on one flavor. The next chapter will be based on another flavor. The third chapter will be based on another flavor, okay? So we decided to go to Africa, and especially into Cameroon. Why Cameroon? Because if you take the map of Africa, Cameroon is a kind of concentrated of Africa. Why? Because you have volcano. Volcano, that means that the soil is really rich. Okay, you take a piece of wood, you plant it, 2 months later you have a tree. Okay, so it's really rich, and you can have all the different kind of spice, of herbs, of fruit that grows in Africa. You can find them into Cameroon. So with this, we send a team. I mean, in the middle, you have Tugdual, which is in charge about innovation. You have Raphael, which is the same as Claudio and myself in Portugal, but based in Bourges, in France, in the headquarters. And also, we decided to take Alex Cratena. Why Alex Cratena? Alex Cratena is a kind of, we took him for his expertise, because Alex Cratena is a kind of the guru of the bar. Alex Cratena, when he was working in London, he get 4 times in a row elect the best bartender and the best bar of the world. Okay, it was when he was working in Artisan. So we decided to take Alex into Cameroon. So the thing is, they went into some market, they went into the forest, they went into some plantation to search about spice, about herbs, about what kind of flavor that we will develop for us. Okay? And we decided to stop on pepper. Why pepper? Because pepper actually is a spice. A spice can be a burning spice like chili, like pepper, but also can be like a soft spice, like for example cinnamon, vanilla. Is something where will give you flavor, but doesn't burn in your mouth. Okay, so this is, you have a full aromatic palette about spice. Pepper, because what we say actually it's singular and plural. You have more than 2,750 kind of different pepper. Okay, so it's really rich. Also, why we wanted something spicy? Because for many years, bartender and also chef are looking about spice. Why? Because your customer, when he comes to your place, he wants to leave an emotion. Okay, in terms of visual, this is the reason why sometimes you work with glasses, sometimes you other container instead of glasses, about the smell and of course about the taste. This is spice. This is the reason why ginger ale and ginger beer are really actually popular for many years, because when you drink them, you have an exchange between your palate and the drinks. Okay, so it's really to leave an emotion. So, and also a lot of chefs are working with different spice, because as we are going to see, pepper, I mean, will bring you different aromatic profile. Okay, so now we have the raw material, which is pepper. Okay, okay. Here, for example, this is white pepper from Penja, white Penja pepper from Cameroon. Okay, just to let you know, white Penja pepper actually is the first IGP in Africa, product in Africa. That means it's kind of recognized and premium cocktail. It's the same thing like in wine. Okay, so now we have the raw material. How we are going to extract the flavor from the raw material? Okay. As a bartender, I mean, you read some books, you have knowledge. Okay, so what you know about extraction, actually, is the first one that we know is infusion. Infusion, you take raw material, it can be spice, it can be herbs, it can be fruits. You dip them into alcohol, you leave them just for the alcohol to attract the flavor and the color from the fruit. Okay? This is infusion. Sometimes you eat a little bit to get more flavor. Sometimes you put some water just to reduce the level of alcohol, not to burn the flavor. Okay? You leave it, and after you mix, and after you strain, and you have a concentrate of flavor. Okay? If it's, for example, if it's alcoholic flavor and you want to do a non-alcoholic product, you put them into like a kind of rotovap just to extract the alcohol, and on the side you have the flavor. Okay, infusion we already all know. The next one, actually, it's distillation. So what is distillation? Most of the time, this one is used for gin. Okay, so you have water here, you heat the water, so you have ebullition, so you have some vapor, some steam, which is going up. Here is passing through the raw material. So for example, for gin, it's a citrus, it's juniper. So all the steam is attracting all the flavor, goes up. When it gets here, it's a cold place. So hot steam turn into cold place, become liquid. So here you have the flavor, and here you have the water. Okay? This we know. But as we wanted to make a premium cocktail, and we wanted a new kind of extraction, we went into the perfume area. Okay? In France, we went to Gucci, Chanel, just to see for them when they produce a perfume, how they extract the flavor. Could be from the roots, it could be from the flower, it could be from anything. And this is how we discover what we call CO2 supercritical. Okay, what is CO2 supercritical? Is attracting the flavor by a gas. Okay, so for example, you have the compression chamber. Here you put the gas. Okay, when you compress the gas, for example, to 73 bars, okay, you heat it to 32 degrees. That means that you are not going to burn your raw material. Okay, so you will keep all the full aromatic schemat. When you heat it, you compress to 73 bars. That means the gas is going like a steam. Okay, what is happening? The steam is going to pass through the ground pepper here, extract the flavor, go here. Here you release the pressure. That means on one side you get all the aromatic part, and on the other side, all the CO2 is recycled. Okay? So first, it doesn't burn the raw material, and after you can recycle your gas. Okay? So the first way, actually, you go to 73 bars. This is to extract all the flavor. Okay? But for once, because for white Penja pepper, you need what we call piperine. Piperine, actually, it's a burning part. So for this, you make another round that this time you are going to elevate the pressure to 200 bars. Is to go really inside, deep inside of the heart of the pepper. Okay? So in this case, because all the different kind of extraction will bring you a different kind of flavor. So for example, you take a strawberry. One part is going to extract the juicy sensation from the strawberry. The second part is going to bring the fruity flavor from the strawberry. And the last extraction is going to bring you the outside. So combining the three kinds of extraction, you get the full flavor of the strawberry. Okay? So in this case, this one is for the pepper. Okay? So the first one is going to bring you this aromatic schemat. The second one is going to bring you this one, and the third one, for example, CO2, is going to bring this one. Okay? So this is the reason why we decided to combine two kinds of extraction. Okay? Because pepper, as you can see, includes between 350 to 500 different aromatic flavor. Okay? This is, for example, actually we have 3 different kinds of flavor. The second one is called rue. Rue is coming from Ethiopia. They call it the passion fruit berry. Why? Because when you go into the nature, you see a bush, you take a berry, you crush it into your hand. When you smell, you have the same flavor of passion fruit. You don't have passion fruit inside, but you have the same flavor of passion fruit. And the last one, actually, is timur. Timur, when you crush it, you have the same flavor of pink grapefruit and citrusy. Okay? 3 different kinds of pepper, 3 different kinds of aromatic things. So this is the reason why you can really create different kinds of drinks. Okay? So CO2 supercritical. This is the machine. I mean, this is what we call the pilot. This is a small machine to make some sample. Okay. The big one, actually, it's the size of the room. Okay, it's a huge one. Okay. This is the reason why it's only used so far into the perfume industry, because I mean it costs really high. Okay, so the thing is, we have the raw material. We know how to extract the flavor. What kind of product are we going to make? Okay, so we didn't want to make a syrup, okay, because we know how to make it. Actually, Olivier Monin, our president, didn't want to make alcoholic product because more and more into bars, you have some trends that non-alcoholic drinks or low alcoholic drinks. Okay, so he didn't want us to make alcoholic product because he wanted a product that can fit into alcoholic recipe and non-alcoholic recipe. Okay, so no liquor, no syrups, no shrub. So we decided to go for a cordial. Okay, so what is a cordial today? A cordial today is a combination of 4 ingredients. You have water, flavor, sugar, acid. Okay? When you are going to say, yeah, but when I read some books about Renaissance period, a cordial at this time, it's what we call liquor today. It was an alcoholic product. But more and more it goes through the time. I mean, he lost his alcoholic part. Okay? So water is natural flavor. Water is natural water. Sugar is the same sugar that we are using for to make our syrups. Actually, it's natural sugar coming from sugar beet. It's what we call saccharose. After, you have flavor. So flavor, first chapter is going to be pepper. And after, you have acid. So what is acid? The most acid that we all know as a bartender is citric acid. You take lemon or lime juice, you squeeze them, you have acid. Okay? Otherwise, you can buy some citric acid online. For example, citric acid, it's fermentation of the lemon, and after they reduce it, they make a powder. Okay, so citric acid, it's an acid. But we actually, you remember when we saw the picture with all the team going to Cameroon, you saw Tugdual de Lambini. Tugdual, when you go to Africa, you meet some people, they invite you at home, you get friends, and after they give you a present, okay? So they gave a bottle of honey to Tugdual, okay? Honey, it was clear gold, like the honey that we know here, okay? When he get to France, okay, he traveled back to France. When he get to France, I mean, the honey was like a dark color, a color of espresso. And he said, why from a gold color, I get a product now which is really black, okay? So as he was into Monin, he went into the lab, and he gave the bottle of honey, black honey, to the lab, and the lab makes some inquiry. Why from gold color it gets to black color? Okay, and we discover, actually, it's actually what we call gluconic acid. So what is gluconic acid? You take glucose, here, atom, and you add 1 atom of oxygen. This oxygen is going to transform the glucose into gluconic acid. Okay? This is what we found out with this honey. So if we stop 2 minutes speaking about acid, you have different kind of acid. Okay, you have acetic acid, which is coming from vinegar. Okay? You have tartaric acid, which is coming from grape. When I say grape, it's the green one, which is really acid. Okay? And after, we all know citric acid, which is coming from lemon or lime. After, you have malic acid, which is coming from the green apple, the Granny Smith, when it's a little bit acid. After, you have malic acid, which is coming from milk. And the last one is gluconic acid. You can also find it into sap. Sap, what is it? You take a tree, you cut the tree, the blood of the tree is the sap. Okay? For example, in Greece, they do mastika, which is a liquor from the sap. Okay? So this is actually, when you drink, what does it make, what feeling it makes into your mouth. Okay? For example, if I drink vinegar or if I drink lemon juice, at the beginning, I will have a kick. Okay, it's bomb, like this, and after it will disappear. For example, on the other side, if you take gluconic acid, you don't have the kick, but you have a long-lasting flavor. Okay, this is the action of the 2 different acids. Okay, so we decided actually to combine the citric acid and the gluconic acid. Why? To have the kick at the beginning, just to wake up the customer, and after, to have a long lasting. The advantage about the advantage about to have a long-lasting flavor, what does it mean? For example, if tonight you go to see a friend into a bar, okay? Your friend, as a bartender, tells you, oh, I just received this really nice rum or whiskey, which is high proof, okay? It's not reduced, it's straight from the cask. So it's really something around, I would say, 75 to 60 degrees, okay? So what you are going to do, when you don't know product, you take the glass, you are going to smell it, okay? When you smell, it's going to send a message to your brain, take care, because it's going to burn, okay? So in your palate, all the spots are going to close, okay, not to get burned, okay? So you will taste, sometimes you add a little bit of water, you will taste the rum or whiskey, and after, one by one, all your sensor color in your mouth are going to open. Due to the fact that you have a long-lasting flavor, you have a better understanding about what you are going to drink. Okay? This will leave sometimes to your brain to know what kind of flavor is it. Okay? So it's really interesting to combine citric acid and gluconic acid. And gluconic acid, when we make some taste, and you make, some, for example, some cocktail to 3 to 4 ingredients, you have a better analysis about all the ingredients that you are mixing together. Okay? So, now speaking about the brand, so we call it Paragon. Paragon, why? Because, I mean, this product is based on 4 different pillars. The first pillar, actually, it's a discover of the raw material when we went to Africa. Okay? The second pillar, it's when we found out about gluconic acid mixed with citric acid. After, it's a new kind of extraction. So we have infusion, we have distillation, and now we have CO2 supercritical. And also, it was the help of Alex Cratena. Okay? So we call it Paragon because why Paragon? Paragon in old French means la crème de la crème, but this is not the reason why. The reason why we call it Paragon because into the jewelry world, it's how you shape the diamond. Okay? Because all the face of the diamond is linked to something. Okay? The expertise of Alex Cratena, the citric and gluconic acid, the discover of the raw material, and the extraction. Okay?
We're looking for the gold of the next cocktail.
Donc notre aventure, c'est un voyage aux racines du goût. On a voulu vraiment s'aventurer dans des zones méconnues à la recherche d'ingrédients parfaits, mais au profil justement atypique qu'on a voulu justement promouvoir sur un public plus large.
A gente está falando de universo que remete à textura, à cor, à imaginação pura.
Dans cette aventure humaine, on a pu découvrir la plantation de Monsieur Métomo, du poivre qui donc produit du poivre blanc de Penja et aussi du poivre noir.
À Penja, je suis planteur depuis 22 ans maintenant. Oh, vous savez, nous avons la chance ici d'être dans un environnement écologique assez particulier au Cameroun. Nous sommes sur des sols volcaniques. Nous avons un climat assez équilibré. 6 mois de pluie globalement, bien sûr c'est entrecoupant avec des petites saisons sèches, et 6 mois de soleil.
These cocktails are for modern bartenders who are passionate about ingredients, who want to know where the ingredients we use come from, and who are curious to explore different new flavors.
Le poivre Penja, il faut dire, est une épice très complexe, où il y a à la fois des notes lourdes et piquantes et des notes de tête très fines.
O universo das pimentas, no geral, e ainda mais particularmente do Penja, é muito pouco conhecido. São características sensoriais muito pouco exploradas.
When it comes to exploring produce, because we want to write a cocktail menu, we want to make new ingredients, no? There's several different ways of doing it. You can go to Google, you can read about it in the book. Also, you can go to Africa, you can touch the things, smell them, and the result of the person who's just Googling or reading a book is very different to the result of person who actually travels to the place and lives the experience. Because you cannot experience an experience unless you experience it.
Okay, I would like to go back just on one point because so you have difference between the three products. Okay, first is the taste profile, then it's the country where they're coming from, and also because you have here Timur and Rue, which are coming from Nepal and Ethiopia. And this one is coming from Cameroon. Cameroon is coming from a plantation. You saw the plantation on the movie. Those two are coming from the nature. I mean, they are growing in the bush. I mean, the people, when they want to collect them, they go into the nature and they just grab them by hand, okay? In the movie, we saw the owner of the plantation is called Mr. Metromu. Okay, Mr. Metromu, when the Monin team arrived into the plantation, he said, if tomorrow nobody buys my pepper, I will destroy everything and I will plant banana, I will make more money, okay? So this is also a reason why we decided to go for this premium pepper, just also to save and to carry on the elaboration of this product, okay? And also, we decided to pay high price when we buy this pepper. It's actually, I mean, with this money, I mean, the owner of the plantation will pay for education of the kids from the people which are working into the plantation. This is part of our CSR politics. Also, just a few words about our CSR politics in Monin. If you go to the Monin booth, you will see Claudio, and he will make you some really nice cocktail with yuzu. Okay, what is yuzu? Yuzu is a lemon. Okay, it's a citrus coming from Asia. But when you taste the yuzu, you have tangerine and lemon flavor. Okay, so it's coming from Asia. It's coming either from Korea, Japan, or China. Okay, but the trouble is now you have an insect which is biting all the plantation of yuzu. So maybe in a few years we don't have any more yuzu. Okay, so what Olivier Monin decided 5 years ago, he bought some land in Portugal, close to Beja, and he planted some yuzu tree. Okay, so maybe, I mean, we already collect some yuzu from Portugal. We don't have enough to make our Le Fruit de Monin, but maybe in 5 years, all Le Fruit de Monin from yuzu will be made from Portugal in Beja. Okay, so now if we have a look to the bottle, so Paragon, which is the name of the brand, here you have the small design of the diamond, I mean link to the 4 pillars. Here you have what is inside, because we wanted to make the label the more clear as possible, okay? So here you have what kind of pepper you have in the bottle. After you have the place where it's coming from. So for example, white penja is coming from Cameroon. Here you have the kind of extraction that we use to get the flavor from this pepper. So here it's a combination of infusion and CO2 supercritical. Here you have the bricks. The bricks actually it's a level of sugar, to make it simple, it's a level of sugar that you have in the bottle. And here you have the pH. pH is the acidity, because as we are mixing citric acid and gluconic acid, you have the level of acidity which is into the bottle. And here you have the main flavor that you will get from this pepper. Okay? So for example, Cameroon, white penja, you will get some horse hair. You know when you are riding horse, you have the flavor of the leather and animal flavor. This is what you are going to get, the main flavor from the penja. After I will explain you why you get this type of flavor. After you have ruberry, which is coming from Ethiopia. Main flavor is passion fruit, jasmine and hay. And timur, which is coming from Nepal, you have grapefruit, herbal and woody flavor. Okay? So, what you have now we saw the label, what you have now inside the bottle. Inside the bottle, you have sugar, which is 600 grams per liter, which is coming from sugar beets, which is natural sugar, which is sucrose, water, combination of gluconic and citric acid, and natural pepper flavoring. What does it mean when you saw on the label, natural blah 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 flavoring? That means that you have a minimum of 95% of blah blah blah. That means here you have 95% minimum of flavoring from pepper, which is natural flavoring. After extraction, depending on the kind of pepper that you are using, you have different kind of extraction, but actually this is shown on the label. We were speaking about pH. pH, we see acidity. When a solution is equal to 7, it's called acidic. And when it's equal to 7, it's called neutral. And when it's lower than 7, it's called acidic. And up to 7, it's called basic. Okay? And the bricks of the Paragon actually is 55. Now, if we move to the explanation about why Penja pepper, because this is really a premium product. So we saw before that it's the first African product to obtain protected geographical indication. Okay. So what is it? The thing is, this is actually the plantation of Penja pepper. Okay. How does it work? It works that, for example, you take a seed, you dip it into the land, and after you have some small plant. When your plant is higher 30 centimeters, you take it off and you replant it close to a dead tree, and the pepper is going to grow up like a rope, okay? And it can go up to 70 meters, okay? This is the reason why the people which are working into the plantation are using ladle, okay? The ladle that you see here is made from bamboo, which are growing at the end of the field, okay? Everything is really local. So you have all those ladies which are harvesting the pepper, I would say from January to March. The pepper, when it grows, is green, okay? When it becomes red like this, that means it's ready to be harvested, okay? So once you harvest your pepper, what are you going to do with it, okay? You have actually two kinds of pepper. You have white pepper, black pepper. Black pepper, it's, I would say, in a way, the lowest quality, in a way that how to get black pepper, you take the pepper, you dip it into water 90 degrees. That means that the water is almost going to burn the outside of the pepper just to concentrate all the flavor inside. Okay, this is how we make black pepper. But what makes white pepper premium is like wine, it's like cigars. You need what we call a fermentation, just to reveal all the flavor. So to go for a fermentation in Cameroon, what you do, you take some big bags, you put all your pepper inside, and after, you dip it into water just to start the fermentation, okay? Fermentation, you have some gas, it's concentrating the flavor, and you have some gas which is going out, okay? And after, once it's done, when the fermentation is done, you are going to take all the pepper up and just to clean them, first to clean, and the second way, just to break the outside, okay? So for this, up, you have all those people which are matching all the pepper just to remove the outside and just to clean them, okay? Once you clean it, so this is the reason why you have this brown color, you put it below the sun on a big carpet, and the sun is going to dry from 3 to 7 days, is going to dry the pepper. So the lady is spraying all the pepper berries on the floor, up, and make them dry on below the sun. Up. And the last one actually is classification, so they are going to keep the good one and to get rid of the bad one. This is actually how we make white Penja pepper. After the two other pepper, which are much more like berry, okay? The first one is coming from Ethiopia, which is called rue. Rue, and you will see timur. The main things is they are growing high into the mountain, okay? So it's like some bush, and people just collect them. So this is for ruberry. When you crush it, you have this kind of passion fruit flavor, which is really nice. And after, you have timur, which is much more like a red pepper. Also, people say that Timur is growing where Buddha was born. In Buddha was where the place where Buddha was born. Okay, so I really invite you, to the booth, to taste all this kind of pepper. Now, as a bartender, how I'm going to mix this kind of cordial. Okay, cordial, it's an easy product. I would say cordial, it's a two-in-one product because it's like a kind of sweet and sour. You have the acidic part and you have the sweet part. Sweet part is coming from the sugar. Acidic part is just coming from the combination of acid. Okay, in a way that, for example, and you will taste on the booth, maximum 3 to 4 ingredients, and this is really reveal all the flavor from the pepper and from the other ingredients. For example, if I do, because actually you have two kind of drinks which are really popular at the moment. It's what we call highball and old-fashioned. What is an highball? Highball is spirits and mixer. Gin and tonic is an highball. Okay. For example, if you take this example of rum, or snake, that can be rum or bourbon, you just add ginger ale. Okay. So you just put a drop of rue berry, which is bring you this kind of passion fruit flavor, and as soon as you put it, you have another drinks. So easy, you can make really sophisticated drink, but you can make also really easy drinks. For example, we were speaking about Penja pepper. Penja pepper, you have really this animal note, this spiciness. It's quite difficult to make. If you take, for example, historical cocktail based on cordial, you have a gimlet. What is a gimlet? It's just gin and cordial. So in this case, you will have all the spice coming from the gin, and after combine well with all the spice coming from the white Penja pepper. Okay. So actually, it's really, and after the second, I would say the second family, which is really popular at the moment, old-fashioned. So just put some bitter. Instead of sugar, just place some cordial, and after you put some spirits. Just mixing glass, but easy to make. Okay? Do you have any question? Yeah? Maximum 2 CL. 2 CL maximum. You will see more, I would say gimlet 1.5 after long drinks 2 CL. Yeah. Because it's so aromatic and concentrate, and after come and test. But you will see. Yeah, but okay. So my boss is okay. Philippe Santos, which is my boss. So he's taking care about Monin into Portugal. And after you have Claudio Lopes, which is going to work on Monin booth. I'm sorry, I'm not checking my mail. I'm just switching on my phone because I want to take a picture. And up, take. Okay. So please, your best smile. Up. Take. Up. Bom dia, Portugal. Muito obrigado.